Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium as we have some women's Region 10 basketball in the NJCAA. I'm Petey Doris alongside colleague Craig Green. Craig, welcome back inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium for some Sunday basketball.
Happy to be here, Petey, and just like you said, we're about 5 minutes away from tipping this one off. Jags didn't have the best outing this past Thursday night, but they're looking to right those wrongs and get on the good ship lollipop right here this afternoon with the defending champions, Richard Bland, coming here to the Richard B.
Yeah, the statements come in with a 583 winning percentage with winners of the last game. They are 5-3 at home, 2-2 on the road, so we'll see exactly if the road wears out the statesman's from Virginia.
Yeah, it's kind of not the easiest trip to make down here, but they did get here plenty of time to get their warm-ups in, and as you can see, the statesmen are still out here getting their warm-ups under Coach Todd Chico. And, they're coming in, not the same team from last year, just like you said, Petey. They're 7-5 this year, not off the best start to defending their Region 10 crown, but I think the Jags today are poised to try to take advantage of a different Richard Bland team from last season, and today see if they can fix their issues that they had stemming from last Thursday and come away with a win today.
Yes, in the month of January, the Jaguars only picked up one win. That was a 10-point win against Brunswick on the road. They've lost the last three here after the win against Brunswick. But, Coach Z come in. She's shaking up the starting lineups today. We're going to see if that's going to, if Kayla Bell, who will start today, we'll see if that will be a factor in the start for the Jaguars. And we've always said all season this year, the Jaguars wait until almost halfway in the first quarter before they can get a field goal.
Yeah, too many slow starts for the Jags, and that's led to their downfall in a lot of games. Today, let's see if the shakeup in the starting lineup, adding Kayla Bell and Nalia White coming off the bench, can help spark a little bit of a change and a little bit of a faster start for the Jaguars. Because, again, that's been the telltale factor in a lot of losses, is starting too slow. Today, can they get ahead of the statesmen and stay ahead and come away with a victory?
That's one thing you're going to have to do if you're going up against the defending champions in Region 10 is once you get ahead, there's no break. It's all gas, no break, just like the New York Jets roll with, all gas, no break. But, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We got a doubleheader as we welcome in the Bryan and Stratton Bobcats at 4 o'clock, and the Jaguar men will face them. But first, we have the Statesmen and the Jaguars. We're 3 minutes away from tipping off here. We'll be right back here. You're listening to Jaguar Sports Network from the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit sbrnc.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. We're going to get started here is for some women's Region 10 basketball as we welcome in the Statesmen from Richard Bland Community College, matching up with the Jaguars from JCC with a 5-12 record, 2-7 at home, and losers of the last 6 of 7. Only win Jaguars picked up in the month of January was against Brunswick, the Dolphins, at the Dolphins' Den. 14 seconds away from getting started here. Craig, taking a look at the Statesmen. They've got a few ladies that are definitely in the scoring column this season.
And the number one player for the Jaguars to key in on will be number 1, Kennedy Matthews, averaging 18.2 points a game.
Yeah, if you take a look at Kennedy Matthews, and you got Amari Hunter averaging 13 points per game. And, right there, Craig, Melanie Patterson averages 13 points along with White for the Jaguars. Jaguars have no one else over 13 points.
It's going to be a team effort, as usual, for the Jaguars. Who's going to be the player to step up and take the offensive role to lead the way? Usually, like you said, we've got 4 players who average and start in double figures. So, again, it's always more of a team effort. But with the shakeup in the lineup today, with Kayla Bell coming in, averaging just 3.4 points a game on the season, will she be the spark that they need offensively, or is she going to play more of a role of an every woman, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some of the things that they really need to help kind of glue the chemistry together to get the result that they want?
Yeah, if you take a look at Richard Bland, if you guys are watching the live stream, they come in with a well-rounded team, dressing 5 more players than the Jaguars are. So, he will have a bench that will, I'm sure none of those ladies will mind stepping in and trying to get the spotlight tonight.
And again, just like you said, the numbers advantage lies with the Statesmen. They're dressing 11 players. The Jags have 7. So, as usual, Coach Z is going to have to do her best to rotate her players and make sure that they understand that they cannot afford to get in foul trouble.
All right, we're going to go ahead and send it to the PA announcer for the starting lineups. I was talking with Coach Z before the game, Craig, and I tell you, it's something the Jaguars need to do is really let the game come to them and see how it's going to come, because everybody knows you're going up against the defending champions of Region 10, so you definitely want to, I'm sure the girls heard that from Coach all week prior to practicing and stuff like that. Let the game come to you and don't go into the game and just start jacking up shots.
Yep, got to play your game, settle down. Don't let the moment get too big for you. Here go the Jags starting lineups.
All right, Craig, tonight's officials, David Fullen, Brian McLaughlin, and Jeff Feller.
And we did hear the starting lineups for both teams for Richard Bland Statesman, led by head coach Todd Chico and his son Tristan Chico. They're starting Kennedy Matthews from Chesapeake, Virginia, 5'6". Amari Hunter, 5'5" from Miami, Florida. Shamara Martin, 5'4" from Newport News, Virginia. Natavia Lipscomb, 5'10" from Woodbridge, Virginia. And the 6'4" Mercedes Gaither from Waldorf, Maryland. And she will jump center with Maya Smith.
So Richard Bland comes in with their away jerseys, gray, trimmed in green, the Jaguars in their home jerseys. And we are officially underway. Richard Bland with the ball to start the game, and they put up the shot, and it's off the mark. And that was Hunter, averaging her 13 points per game, coming up short. Patterson trying to set the tempo, and with a long rebound, to Gaither, where she loses it coming down. Randolph straightaway three. Jaguars 0 for 2 so far in the first possession. Got an offensive board.
Got a couple good looks, but just weren't able to get them to fall early on.
Like the ball movement by the Statesman to the corner for Hunter, and Hunter wanted to take that three till Maya Smith pulled out. Long three from the right wing, and you can count it for Lipscomb.
Yeah. Natavia Lipscomb gets the Statesman in the scoring column to start this game off. A nice stroke from long range.
Trying to body up Smith, as Smith is trying to put separation, and Jaguars 0 for 3.
And that was Thagard's spot, too. She just completely missed everything, unfortunately.
Kennedy Matthews with the first turnover. With the travels. Kennedy had a green light.
Jags 0 for 3 so far, all from long range. Can they get on the scoreboard here? Find something that works. You see already the Statesmen aren't really too keen on guarding the three-point line.
Randolph 0 for 2 from the perimeter. Jaguars 0 for 4 from the field. Just a minute and 30 off the clock. Martin swings it left side over to Hunter. Hunter looking inside on the mismatch for Gaither. Gaither definitely has the height advantage on Smith as Gaither pulls down the rebound and loses it between her legs, fighting for it, and coming out with it, Gaither.
And another turnover, PD.
2 turnovers so far for the Statesmen, both of them travel calls.
Both teams collectively right now 1 of 7 to get us started this afternoon. See if the sun plays a factor shining in here at the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium.
Jaguars break to full court press. Randolph continues struggling from the field, 0 for 3. Martin driving, kicking at the top of the key to Hunter, to whip it around the perimeter, and 3. And it's nothing but nylon for Lipscomb. That's her.
2 for 2 for Lipscomb. And then a bad pass right in the passing lane.
And Martin, that's the first turnover, cost the Jaguars 2 points, and it's 8-0.
See the full court press early on by the Statesmen, too.
Jaguars have no problem breaking the full court press. But a perimeter shooting by the Jaguars as they continue to struggle. Randolph is 0 for 3, and Melanie Patterson 0 for 2. And Statesman Martin with a rebound, and she'll go to Kennedy Matthews, and will work the ball in the front court to Martin, and she'll go up, misses easy layup, but Thagard with the rebound. Jaguars still struggle at the beginning of the game. They trail 8-0. Kayla Bell turns it over. That's the second turnover for the Jaguars. And pass ahead, and nice reverse layup for Hunter.
What an outlet pass that was.
We got our first media timeout. The Jaguars trail 10-0 at the 6:40 mark. We'll be right back here inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit sbrnc.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started.
6:40 left in the first quarter. Jaguars catch herself behind 10-0 with 2 threes by Lipscomb.
We
Put
talked
the
about
Statesmen up 6-0 early, then 2 consecutive turnovers, 4 points.
We talked about the fact that they can't afford a slow start, and here we are once again, 3 minutes, 20 seconds in, and they have not scored a bucket. Meanwhile, the Statesmen have come out guns blazing thanks to the hot shooting of Natavia Lipscomb.
Coming out of our immediate timeout, the Jaguars will have the ball. Facing a 1-2-1-1 full court press. Coach C continues with the starters. Caleb Bell gets the Jaguars started on the first field goal for the Jaguars.
I like the execution to break the full court press. They found Bell in the corner with an easy 2-point bucket to make. And there we go. Once again, this is Mercedes Gaither now from a long-range correction. That was Sierra McGinley coming off the bench. Another 3, Petey. That's the third one for the Statesmen.
Statements are 3 for 4 from the perimeter.
Thagard wide open on the perimeter. Nobody can see her.
Caleb Bell for the opposite side, and felt a little breeze come over here on the air ball, Craig. The Statesmen work ahead, and Kennedy Matthews has not been a factor as Lipscomb is 3 for 3 with 9 points in the team's 16.
Said Natavia Lipscomb or Steph Curry out there. My goodness, 3 in a row to start the game. Obviously the leading
Same
scorer.
area. Third turnovers for the Jaguars. 3 turnovers. We'll see what the outcome of this one is as McGinley shot is off the mark. Jaguars with 3 turnovers, giving up 4 points on the turnovers. They go inside Randolph, and she's in the corner. Throws a weak pass over to Smith and back out. Jaguars need to get out of the corner, trailing by 14.
Ball movement to get out of the corner, out of that press was really impressive.
Midway through the first quarter, Jaguars struggle from the field. Leilani Patterson still 0 for 3, but Smith cleans up the miss. The Jaguars get a field goal and then a steal by Patterson, and Jaguars continue to climb on defense. 3 turnovers for each team.
I think that should be the spark right there that helps them maybe lock down defensively, which is the thing the Jags do best. They really take defense and try to turn it into offense.
This is the second miss from the perimeter, and Mara Hunter with her first miss from the perimeter. Smith pushes it out. 17 on the shot clock. Jaguars down by 10 as Patterson's shot is too hard and right through the hands of Gibson, but it falls right to Hunter. Hunter pushes it in front court. We have some substitutions coming in as Martin along with Idengo. 4:03 left.
You can see Coach Z is trying to slow the game down here to really get the Jaguars in good position. They're starting to share the ball more. They're starting to pass it around the perimeter, find the open player, and then decide to make their move, like chess pieces would do.
Love the ball movement by Richard Bland so far through this first quarter. Whipping the ball, no soft passes. You take a look at the Jaguars, watch their passing, and then watch the Statesmen passes, and Leilani Patterson picks up her 4th point. The Jaguars within 8. They've tracked it down from 14 to 8 in the last 3 minutes. We got a 30-second timeout. Craig, like I said, Jaguars were down by as many as 14 and tracked it back with 6 straight points. 4 of those coming from Patterson.
I think some of it had to do with them slowing down the pace of the game. The other aspect of that, too, was also, a little bit of a misfortune for Richard Bland, not knocking down a couple of shots. but really you see the Jaguars taking their time and finding their spots in the court. And also a little bit of fortune, too. You know, you saw this last possession where the offensive board lands in the hands of Melanie Patterson, gets to steal off the inbounds. You know, creating opportunities for themselves is what you're going to have to do, because it's not always going to just flow the way you want it to. Sometimes you have to be assertive and take the moments and create them for yourselves.
3:37 left here in the first quarter. Jaguars within 8. Richard Bland with the ball is Martin. Swings it over to Matthews. Nice dribbling by McGinley. Matthews drive and puts up a runner. In and out, fighting for it is Maya Smith and the Jaguars. See the Jaguars trap into a 6-point deficit. Statesman's locking down the middle as Smith travels. And that's her fourth turnover for the Jaguars.
Just a misstep by Maya Smith. I think she was considering putting the ball up and then wanted to take an extra step to get a little bit more of a better position. But ultimately, she didn't put the ball down on the floor first, and it's a travel.
We have a jump ball, and it will be with the Jaguars. It's a fourth turnover for the Statesman.
And again, another empty possession. So that's helping to keep the Jaguars at a reachable distance to come back in this game, tie it up, or even take the lead. After really a slow start, it was 16-2. Now it's 16-8.
Randolph with a turnover, the sixth turnover, and Patterson with a block.
Nice job to recover by Patterson after the turnover. And coming back into the game, Amari Hunter. She's going to replace the leading scorer on the season for the Statesman, Kennedy Matthews, right now with an over.
So we'll see White check in as Smith. We'll have a seat. Thompson, White, Bell, Smith, and Patterson in for the Jaguars. Back to a 10-point lead. Nice ball movement, passing right into traffic is Ndango.
And Dango will be tagged for the foul, and looked like a clean steal, but referee said no, it was not.
White whips it out for the Jaguars, trailing by 10.
Almost 8 minutes in, PD. Just that's the first foul of the game.
Patterson with 4 points, but she continues to struggle from the field. White pulls down the rebound off the loose ball. Thacker brings it up, trailing by 10, under 2 minutes.
That was a nice assertive pass by Bell to Thompson.
And White coming off the bench for her first shot, and it's a 7-point lead, Statesman.
I would love to see how Nalia White responds. She's been in the starting lineup all season long, coming off the bench today. See if she can strengthen the core of Coach Z's team.
Dango misses the easy bucket into paint, and here goes McGlaney. Continues to climb in the scoring column with 8 points. Dango picking up her second foul, the second of the game. Checking in is early.
We're still seeing players check in at the wrong table. They're coming over here to our broadcast position and telling us that they're going into the game.
20-11. Jaguars looking for an answer for the slow start. White off that right elbow and coming down with the rebound to Statesman. They push it ahead, and careless pass, but it was in the favor of the Statesman. And Early gets her first point late in the first quarter.
Yeah, she got her own rebound, put it right back up. One thing the Statesmen do have is they do have some length and some size over the Jaguars. So offensive rebounding is going to be something they have an advantage in this game. Nice offensive board by Patterson, who puts it back home.
Patterson leaped right over the Statesman and puts it up in basically the same form and everything as she got the rebound, and from that right side, and McGlaney off the mark. Inside 20 seconds will the Jaguars wait till the final seconds to shoot, and that's your answer is Bell. Saw the opportunity and said, now I'll go ahead and take it now, so the Statesman will have the final shot. 5 on the clock. 3 from the left wing. It bounces around and falls out for Martin at the end of 1. Jaguars trail by 7, but has seen as many as down by 14. You're listening to Jaguar Sports Network.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity golf fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living.
Welcome back as the Jaguars going into quarter number 2 down by 7. Give up the first 3. And that was Martin with a 3. As a Statesmen are 5 for 12 from 3.
And now turnover right now by the Jags, PD, as Thagard was trying to find Bell in the corner. And that pass was errant. 6 turnover for the Jaguars, who shot 1 of 8 from long range in the first period.
Jaguars still need to start watching the perimeter shooting because the Statesmen have the green light from their coach. Nice pass inside to Gaither, and Gaither brings it all the way down, and they'll call a travel. That's Gaither's 3rd travel.
6 turnover overall for the Statesmen, and hasn't affected them too much because they're holding a 10-point lead at the moment. But again, if players like Thagard and Patterson can get their shooting going, especially Nalia White, who started this game with a 3, anything can happen. Patterson misses again. Matthews, and then a long cross-court pass to Martin. And now another travel, PD. This time it's Kennedy Matthews who travels. Turnover number 7 for the Statesmen. 2 consecutive turnovers, 2 empty possessions. Can the Jaguars take advantage?
It's the 2nd travel by Kennedy Matthews also. The turnovers for Richard Bland have been all traveling, other than 1. Jaguars still continue to struggle as Richard Bland and Hunter puts up a shot, fouled, and draws the and 1.
Against the defense of Nalia White. She took White to the bucket, off the glass, got it to fall. And now 2 substitutions coming in, Thompson and Smith coming in. Or Randolph and Smith coming in, excuse me. Thompson will sit.
Jaguars in the first quarter shot 36%, 7 for 9 from the field, and just 1 for 8 from 3. With 12% as a Statesman making the first free throw today. That was Hunter, 28-15. Remember, our biggest lead was 14 in the first quarter, and Thagard.
I asked Zanaya Thagard before the game, PD, how many 3s she was going to hit today. She jokingly told me 0. She made a liar out of me right there because she hit her first one.
28-18. Statesman and Jaguars square off Region 10 basketball. This divisional NFC AFC Sunday as Hunter hits her second 3.
I've got the 49ers and the Chiefs today winning.
31-18 in the Jaguars. White.
Great response by Nalia White. 2 threes for her. She's 2 of 3 from the field to get us started. And again, they can use her spark off the bench.
Martin, shooter's roll, bounces no. White with the rebound. 31-21 here in the second quarter. 7:37 left. White straight to the hole and gives it up as she was fouled, and picking up the foul is Martin. Got 2 substitutions coming in as Powers and Gibson checks in for Linscomb and Gaither. If you take a look at the court right now, Craig is going small ball other than Gibson. But she's the same height as Maya Smith. Randolph's baseline was cut off. And go to Bell. Bell for the left elbow, and it's an air ball. And Jaguars continue to struggle. 31-21.
Yeah, each team has 4 guards on the floor right now. Smith, it's like it's Smith and Gibson, the 2 tallest players out there right now.
Cross course pass over to Martin, and Martin drives with a little help off the glass, and it's 33-21.
Martin does a good job going to the rim and finishing as well. That time she was able to get into the paint and put the little floater over the defense of the Jaguars.
.637 left. White.
Thagard hobbled. Looks like somebody might have stepped on her foot.
Randolph. Oh, and Bell with the offensive board. Back to Randolph. Randolph drops it off to Smith, and there's a foul. And Kennedy Matthews with the foul.
Not Matthews, pardon. Thagard pretty bothered by that foot. She's going to have to come out and Maylani Patterson back in the game.
McGinley. (33-21). Jaguars trying to chop away. Patterson puts up a runner too hard, in and out. Falls right in the hands of the Statesman.
See that ball moving again by the Statesman. Really nice. That was a good indoor pass.
Powers powered away up to the goal. We got our biggest lead, 14.
The passing led to that play that she got in the post and knew exactly what she wanted to do. Was assertive and then put it right up when she had the chance. Jump ball now. It's going to stay with the Jaguars.
Got 14 turnovers in the first half so far, 7 for each team. Biggest lead is 14. We've been at it twice. First quarter, Jaguars trailed 16-2, and now they trail 35-21.
Jags had 2 players in the same spot, White and Patterson.
White from top of the key, count it. White 3 for 4 from the field and 3 for 3 from long range.
I love Nalia's her patience and her assertiveness, and she knows exactly what she wants to do when she gets it. She's got her spot. She turns around, puts it right up, no hesitation.
Statesman from the corner, and White should be defended by Hunter. Hunter lets it go straight up, and White continues to climb.
And I think coming off the bench has maybe sparked a little something in Nalia White. I was surprised to hear Coach Z tell us that Kayla Bell was going to be inserted into the lineup and Nalia would come off the bench. But it's clearly something that's worked for the Jaguars.
White averages 13 points per game for the Jags this season.
She's at 11 right now. We're not even at halftime yet.
Riley Gibson with the Dingo. Coming up on a media timeout. 4:59 left. Media timeout. Jaguars trail by 9, 35-26 on your South Street Barber scoreboard.
Sit back and relax. Your all-inclusive event management and travel planning company. Visit sbrnc.com or call 919-264-8418 to start planning your next adventure.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Jaguars on a 5-0 run sparked by Nalia White's 5 points. The Jaguars trailed 35-26. Just 1 second shy of 5 minutes ago here in the first half. Craig, like you said, 11 points off the bench for the Jaguars. But that's going to have to be it's what's going to have to happen today with Zaniyah Thagard hovering that right ankle.
Yeah, got to see if Thagard can come back into the game. Hopefully she'll be all right as we see another three-pointer. This time Kennedy Matthews gets on the board, the leading scorer for the Statesmen.
White is guarded tightly by Matthews and Patterson. Inside, and Patterson gets the Jaguars back within 10.
Good response. And now a steal. Look at Nalia White.
White, reverse layup. Not sure why she went that side. The Patterson with 4 straight points. This is the White and Patterson show here in Selma. 38-30.
Yeah, Patterson with 8 points. Nalia White with 11.
Statesman with 8 turnovers, and Patterson with another steal. Patterson stops, pops, does not fall, and Bell with the putback.
Look at the Jaguars asserting themselves and pulling this game within 2 possessions just like that. It all starts in the defensive end of the floor.
If you can get the crowd going also for the Jaguars, it's been a struggle all season with the crowd not getting here early enough for the Jaguars to get things started.
We got a nice crowd for this game this afternoon, and you hear them getting loud. That pass was deflected. It should stay with the Jags as Martin got her fingertips on it before it touched the out of bounds. And Lipscomb coming back into the game. Lipscomb in the first quarter, PD. Again, we talked about her, 3 for 3 from long range.
She was a spark at the beginning of the game. Put the Statesmen up 6-0 early. Jaguars fell behind 16-2 as White airballs her first 3. Smith from 17, no, and fighting. Coming up with it is early. Jaguars trailed 16-2 in the first. They tracked them all the way back down. Be within
Look at Nalia
6.
White again.
White, right side, layup, fundamentals. Jaguars force a timeout. 38-34, 2 possessions, Craig, and we'll be knotted at 0. Knotted at 38.
Look at the fight by the Jaguars, PD. Essentially down 1 player right now. They are giving it their all again. Richard Bland has had so many empty possessions coming down here on this side of the floor that it's really sparked this comeback. You're seeing Melania Patterson getting in good spots. She's offensive rebounding, so is Kayla Bell. And Nalia White, her hot shooting has really helped the Jaguars fight their way back into this game. White, 5 field goals, PD, on 8 attempts, 5 of 8 from the floor right now. And she's got 13 points. And again, a fantastic job by Coach Z to recognize and understand her players and see that Nalia would be best served coming off as a reserve today.
Jaguars a 13-3 run in the last 2 minutes and 55 seconds. At the 6-minute mark, it was 35-21. They come out of a timeout, they sink that 3 from the left side was Kamara Martin. And then, but since then, it's been all Jaguars. They forced 4 turnovers on the Statesmen. They're at 10 turnovers so far in the first half. Jaguars with 7, but Craig, interesting stat. There's only been 3 fouls called the entire first quarter.
They're letting them play. I mean, that's what I can see here. I mean, the teams also are kind of helping it out by, the ball movement, the hot shooting, and looks like it's just some really stellar defense as well. I mean, we're getting a really good game here in the first half. The refs are letting these girls play it out.
It's Kennedy Matthews looking for help as she picked up her dribble.
Matthews looked like she might have traveled as she slid that left foot.
Martin. One thing I haven't seen with the Statesmen, they haven't set no screen today. And that's something that we usually typically see is air ball, and there to clean it up is early. And we have
it's like a bucket in the bruises here as Lipscomb was fouled. I think they're trying to discuss who the foul was on, but like there was some
40-34. As you heard 2 horns in the background. They didn't reset the shot clock off of the air ball. But early put it up immediately and it touched the rim, so the shot clock didn't reset. So they continue to play 40-34. Checking in is Gaither on the next dead ball.
That foul went on Elena Randolph.
Fighting on a missed free throw. The Statesmen regain possession. 6-point lead. And staying with it, volleying with it was Powers, and Power picked up the points.
Yeah, ball was locked around. Not a shot attempt, really, it was just stripped on the way up, but then landed right in Power's hands, and she was able to put it back home, kind of a wild shot off the glass in the paint.
White is fouled by Martin. So Gaither, Mercedes Gaither checking in. She'll check in for Lisa Powers. Jaguars taking it out underneath the goal.
Oh, bad pass.
Kayla Bell passes it right in the hands of Kennedy Matthews. She'll look for her left and early with the and one. Just like that, Craig, it's snowed of runs, back to a 10-point lead.
Attacking Patterson with the foul, and just like you said, Jags fought hard to get back into this game, and out of nowhere, the Statesmen have been able to string together a run of their own, led by some offensive rebounding.
Thompson checking in for the Jaguars. She'll check in for Smith.
Yeah, a little concerning. We haven't seen Zanaya Thagard come back in. See if Coach C knows anything about that at the halftime break.
White stops for the right wing, and that's her second air ball 3 of the day.
And she started off hot. She's missed 3 of her last 4 attempts. But they need her offense, that's for certain, and her defense as well.
Nice put up off the left hand and able to finish. 12-point lead. Jaguars within 4 just 2 minutes ago. It's been an 8-0 run. Patterson's long shot from 18, and Jaguars stop the bleeding.
Coming off the screen, nicely done by Patterson. Little pick and pop. And Jaguars getting off the schneid right there.
Camping out on that baseline and turning it over. The Jaguars ahead to Patterson. Patterson's layup's good.
And Good job by Nalia White to find Patterson streaking down the floor. Great pass. Jags within 8 again.
31 seconds left. Kennedy Matthews. It pass down low and early. Back to an 8-point lead.
JCC can hold for the final shot here. No need to rush. Don't want to give Richard Bland another opportunity here. Just take your time, find a shot. 3 on the shot, 3 in the game clock. Got to hurry up now.
Nice move by Patterson to get the shot off, and the Jaguars trail by 10. 48-38. We're going to be right back here with stats, facts, figures of the first half after a word from our sponsors.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has Mom Ma. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Halftime here at the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. Petey Doors, Craig Green with the call today. The Jaguars trail by 10 at the break, 48-38. Behind the phenomenal shooting from the perimeter for the Statesmen. They were 7 for 16 from deep with 43%, Craig. When some of the teams shoot that high, it's hard to track them down, but the Lady Jaguars, minus the first opening 4 minutes of action, tracked a 16-2 lead down and got within 4 in the second quarter.
They did. It was a good effort by the Jaguars to get it down to 38-34, and then all of a sudden, Petey, we saw a 14-4 run by the Statesmen to pull themselves ahead again by 10 points. And again, it was all led by hot shooting, just like you said. Jaguars allowed the Statesmen to hit 7 3-pointers in the first half. They were also out-rebounded by a large margin, and that's why they're down by double digits right now.
With Linscomb coming out shooting hot, 3 for 4 in the first half from deep. You know, that she sets the tempo, but I tell you, one thing with the Jaguars, they need to watch going into the second half. They have to watch the perimeter shooting because, trust me, they put up 16. They'll match that in the second half. Just hopefully the Jaguars, you know, can get a hot streak without Zanaya Thagard. She going out in the first quarter or beginning of the second quarter. But then, you know, Jaguars step in when White come in hot. And then White, her last two threes, she airballed both of them. But the Jaguars in the first half, you know, minus the first 4 minutes, Craig, managed to put up shooting 42% from the field, 25% from the perimeter, 17 rebounds, 8 turnovers, and no free throws.
That's another key to this game, too, Petey, the fact that they have not been able to get any of the Statesmen in foul trouble. All their work has been done from the perimeter and on the offensive boards, but you got to give credit to Coach Chico, who's had his team disciplined enough to play that kind of defense to where the refs really aren't whistling them for fouls. Now, it could be an element, or it could be, you know, a little bit of them letting them play. Could be a little bit of, oh, I didn't see that one there. But again, in the second half, just like we saw earlier on in this game where the Jaguars slowed things down with ball movement and finding their right spots on the floor, they may need to want to try to slow things down by getting to the free throw line and getting points while the clock is stopped.
Statesmen were 18 for 39 from the field for 51%, 43% from long range, 7 for 16, 23 rebounds, out-rebounded the Jaguars just by 3, and 13 turnovers. The biggest lead was 14. We've seen that twice as we're at 35-21 and also 16-2. And, you know, the Jaguars are poised in the second half. They're only down by 10. Could have been down by a whole lot more. Could have been a whole lot closer. But, Craig, 6 minutes away from starting here. We're going to go to commercial break here. We're going to come right back here with see what Coach Z changed up at the break for the Jags to get a win today in Region 10.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started. Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity golf fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
Welcome back. Halftime here at the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. The Jaguars trail 48-38. Craig is with Coach Z with an interview. Go ahead, take it away, Craig.
All right. Here at the halftime break with Coach Z, just a couple quick questions for you, Coach. we saw, a little slow start. You guys started to fight back, and then you saw another little lull here at the end of the first half. So what's some adjustments you think you guys have to make to get back in this game and knock this 10 points down?
We have to move on defense. We have to move, and then we have to box out. I'm trying to get them one and done. I know they got some great shooters, so if we run them off the line and force them to shoot layups and we make them miss, we have to seal it by getting the offensive rebound or the defensive rebound. We have to rebound. That's every game, but that's definitely what we need to do tonight.
And we saw Zanaya kind of have a little hobble in the first half. Is she okay? Will she be able to play second half?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Zanaya because she might watch this later on. I've been telling Z to take her iron pills and eat at our pregame meals. Z doesn't want to eat, drink water, or drink anything. She don't want to put anything in her body. So this is the result of Z not listening. Z is fine. Z is fine. There's nothing wrong with her elements or anything. It's just Z hasn't ate or drunk today. That's it.
Thank you for the analysis, Coach Z. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, PD, back to you. Jags got 10 points down. This is their chance to eliminate that, right the wrongs, and get a dub today.
All right, thank you, Craig. It's like Coach Z said, rebound and box out, trying for the one and dones. The Jaguars trail 48-40. They just changed the score on us as it's Jaguars down 48-40. We've got 3 minutes away until we get started here in the second half. You're listening to Jaguars Sports Network and Jaguars basketball.
Relax, your all-inclusive event management and travel planning company. Visit sbrnc.com or call 919-264-8418 to start planning your next adventure.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has Mom Ma. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
Welcome back inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. The score is 48-38 at halftime. As like Coach Z said, Craig, rebound one and done is what the Jaguars are looking to do here in the second half to get the win against Richard B.
And the defense, really, again, that's what led the Jaguars to coming back into this game and knocking that deficit down to 38-34 in the first place. So we see Zanaya Thagard coming back out onto the floor, PD. You heard Coach Z break it down. You know, it all comes down to some nutritional issues for Zanaya Thagard. You know,
I give her my Think Delight over here. You know, it's got some good protein.
Hey, at the halftime, you know, Capri Sun and apple slices got to get it in, right?
So Jaguars with the ball to start. The second half is coming out with their starters. Thagard, 3 from the left wing. Had a nice distance, and the Jaguars get the rebound. Thagard's pass is almost intercepted, but a turnover, Jaguars.
Now it's perfect transition offense by the Statesmen. The pass to Matthews on point, able to lay it home. No problem at all. 2-on-1. The Statesmen again impose their will.
And off to Thagard, top of the key, flush it home.
And that's how you answer if you're Zaniah Thagard again. That's what the Jaguars need. This game is now underneath a 10-point deficit for JCC. One and done, and then convert on their end, and this thing is going to be tied before you know it.
Matthews top of the key over to McGlaney. Great defense by Randolph on Matthews.
Chasing those shooters away from the perimeter. That's what you got to do.
Jaguars trying to close out the perimeter. One strip and done for the Statesmen. Randolph wanted to take that 3. Goes to Caleb Bell for the right elbow, and Bell's had a nice release and could not come down with the points. And Lipscomb.
Once again in the scoring column, Lipscomb. 11 in the first half. That's her first bucket here in the second half.
Lonnie Patterson continues to struggle for the perimeter. Lipscomb with the rebound, and they push it ahead. And with the second opportunity, and Caleb Bell gets the rebound. Thagard from the deep, and Smith.
How is that not a foul on McGinley? I mean, she hit Smith right on the arm. You could hear the slap over here. I mean, what are the referees looking at? I'm sorry, you know, not going to be critical of them, but I mean, you literally could hear Maya Smith get her hand slapped all the way over here by Sierra McGinley, and the referees just, you know, no blood, no foul, I guess.
Inside his pass, and early misses and gets a rebound. Jaguars trail by 11. Fell behind in the first half by 14, but climbed back out of it from a 16-2 deficit in the first to get within 4, 38-34, but Matthews long 3, and Patterson looking ahead, no one above her. She grabbed out a rebound. Thagard, nice pass to Patterson. Nice spin, puts up the shot, and slapping the rebound was Thompson. I'm not sure why she didn't grab the rebound. And here comes Martin in offense.
Thought she had some help behind her to back tap it too, but she didn't. There was nothing but Statesman as a three-pointer is knocked down by McGinley.
That's McGinley's second 3. It's back to a 14-point lead.
Long 2, actually, they said. And now a steal by Patterson.
11 turnovers for the Statesmen. (54-43). 6:44 left. Oops. Hunter checks in for early. (54-43) on the Style Street Barber scoreboard. Baseline jump shot, it's off the mark, and Caleb Bell coming down with it is McGlingley's shot is on defense. Nice block by Ndengo. Caleb Bell does not collapse and follow Martin to the bucket as Martin, easy layup.
Yeah, Martin found her way, slicing down the left side of the lane, put it up with the left hand, and now this thing starting to get a little out of hand here. The Jaguars have to find a way to settle down and get the shot they want. That's the one they want right there. Thagard, but no.
First layup, and she hits the floor, but no foul.
Referees are swallowing the whistles today, that's for certain.
A lot of bodies flying and not a lot of whistling. 56-43, Matthews. And Thompson with a rebound and picking up the foul. It's going to be on the Dango.
Kind of wonder what's a foul and what isn't a foul because, you know, we've seen, okay, again, you know, saw Maya Smith get slapped on the arm. You could hear it all the way over here at the broadcast position. We don't have a mic over there, Petey. We could hear it over here. But yet, you know, a simple over the back like that was whistled pretty quickly.
Kayla Bell shots short of the rim, right in the hands of Matthews. Matthews whips it to the corner, 3, and it's nothing but nylon for Martin.
And that 3 ball was courtesy of ball movement by the Statesmen. They did a good job getting the ball moved around the perimeter. Coach Z wants to talk it over because the strategy she had coming out of the locker room is not working right now.
4:55 left, media timeout. Biggest lead, 16. That's where we stand now, 59-43.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Sit back and relax. Your all-inclusive event management and travel planning company. Visit sbrnc.com or call 919-264-8418 to start planning your next adventure.
Not the way the Jaguars plan on starting the second half, one and dones, but right now it's 16-point lead for the Statesmen, 59-43. 4:55 left, third quarter. Doubleheader today as we welcome in the Bobcats from Bryan and Stratton in the men's game next. And I'll tip it off in 1 hour and 2 minutes. We'll have it right here on Jaguar Sports Network. Petey Doors, Craig Green, along with our producer, JT.
Bobcats have made their way here already. They're sitting in the stands watching the game. Randolph looked like she needed some help there, Petey. She got it from Nalia White.
Thagard's pass to Smith. As Smith manages to find it, go up off the left side. Smith cleaned up the pass from Thagard as Thagard pass was too weak.
It's a broken play, another broken play by the Jaguars, but this time it worked out to their advantage as they were able to get the bucket to fall. Now Maya Smith with the steal.
Nice ball. Thagard from the left wing. And Thagard with a green light, but she's been on the yellow brim all day.
Yeah, the iron has been extremely unkind for Zanaya Thagard in today's game, PD. She is 2 of 7 from the field, all from three-point range.
59-45 as 4:12 left. Not sure what the call is on the court. We'll stay right here as
I think Coach Chico was looking for an explanation as well.
So 4:12 left, 59-45, Craig. Jaguars trail. You know, they come out of the timeout and get a quick bucket and chop back, and you know, it's a hole the Jaguars need to come out of.
They're gonna have to find something that works because again, these slow starts have really hurt them in some of these ball games because, you know, they find themselves in a hole, have to climb their way back out, and it takes too perfect of a basketball game on the back end to wash away all the wrongs that they had in the first half. So this is their chance right now with, we'll just call it 14-12 left in this game right now. Down by 14, you've got a chance to really walk this thing down, but it's going to start on the defensive end just like it did when you knocked it down to 38-34.
It starts one possession at a time. Jaguars trail 59-45 as the Statesmen come back on the court with the ball. Jaguars on defense. 4:12 left.
Jags will have Thompson, Smith, Randolph, White, and Patterson.
Dagger will have a seat.
Statesman will have Matthews, McGinley, Lipscomb out there along with Powers.
Threatening down low with that entry pass, and Jaguars able to clash the boards. White ahead to Patterson, and Patterson clears it back out. 14-point lead. Patterson baseline as he is fouled, and that's Ndangos with the personal.
And it's our third foul. This is going to be the first free throws attempted by the Jags in this game. We're in the third quarter, Petey. We're 16 minutes or 26 minutes plus into this game, and the Jags are finally shooting a free throw. Mailani misses the first one.
So Hunter looking to come into play. Hunter looking to come in, the next dead ball for Matthews. Patterson misses both free throws. Nice pass ahead, beat the defense for Lipscomb.
I mean, that was kind of like dropping the dime in the bucket on that one. I mean, Lipscomb was underneath the basket. The ball went over the head of every player in front of her, found it right in her hands, and just an easy layup. They made it look so easy.
Looked like Purdy's pass to McCaffrey this afternoon. The Jaguars answer back.
Good pass by Smith to White to find Nalia White all alone underneath the basket. The Statesman forgot all about her.
Nalia White today is, typically she struggles on layups, but today she's hitting all the layups at the right time. Jaguars force a turnover. It's a 16th turnover. Smith and Patterson with the putback.
And another good pass, this time Randolph finding Smith. But then Patterson cleans it up on the offensive boards. Jags fighting their way back. It's still a 12-point game, but you can feel a little momentum shift here. If the crowd can get loud, they can continue playing this perimeter defense. This time, Desire Thompson guilty of the foul on Powers.
Jaguars with 2 turnovers this half. 3 turnovers for the Statesmen in the quarter. 61-49, 2:24 left. Hunter checks in for Matthews. Corner 3, deep 2.
Tell you what, the perimeter shooting of the Statesmen is really impressive.
63-49. And Smith, nice pass.
What a pass.
Thompson weren't even ready for the pass. Smith going to Thompson, and Thompson with her hands on her hips on the pass.
Yeah, great find. We have seen that in the last couple possessions by the Jaguars, some really nice passing. This time, Thompson couldn't handle it. And that time, again, you had 2 Jaguars in the same spot, but that ball was thrown in the area of Amari Hunter. Good awareness by Hunter, and lucky for the Jags to save the possession. 20 on the shot clock, 2 minutes on the game clock.
63-49. Statesman averages 65 points per game. They're 2 shy of their team average on the season.
Still don't know how there wasn't a foul call on this trip down the floor. Should have been a block on the Statesman, but again, referee swallowing their whistle, just letting them play it out.
Jaguars averages 66 points per game. Patterson puts up the shot. No shot. Shot clock violation. Goes down as a turnover to 10th for the Jaguars. Correction, 11th turnover.
Will the Jags press? And here they go, Petey. Full court press.
Forces
That one
the
thrown
turnover.
away.
That's the 17th turnover for the Statesman. Jaguars with just 11:34 left. Craig need to make some adjustments going into the Fidelity Investment Money Quarter.
Number one adjustment, put the ball in the bucket. Number two adjustment, quit turning it over.
12th turnover.
And now two players hitting the floor. That's Randolph and Powers, and Randolph guilty of fouling Powers, diving for the loose ball. So here comes Kamaya early. Had 8 points in the first half.
She comes in to release Powers. Powers was one on the floor.
Full court press again by the Jaguars.
Offensive board and going up strong was Riley Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson was in the right place at the right time. Was able to grab that wild shot. She was all alone by herself on the left side of the basket.
1:05 left. Jaguars trail 65-49. 12 on the shot clock. Randolph from the right wing. Flushes it home.
Big shot by Randolph. That's her first points of the game. Missed her previous 4 attempts.
That full court press forces the Statesmen to force turnovers. Linscomb, runner and off the mark, and Patterson down there fighting and coming out with it as early shots off the mark. From the corner, and Linscomb's shot was traveling away. Nylia White able to get a bucket.
Here Coach Chico called it about 4 seconds before it went happen. And yes, Nylia White did get away with shuffling her feet, but the Jaguars will take advantage.
Nice put up, bodying it. Down low is early. And it's 67-54. Going into the fourth quarter, we'll be right back here. You're listening to Jaguar Sports Network.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit sbrnc.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started.
Jaguars trail 67-54 with just 10 minutes to go here in the contest. Jaguars shot 7 from 19 with 36% in the third quarter, as the Statesmen were 8 for 19. At the end of the first half, we're 10-point lead, 48-38. And after 3, we're set at 67-54.
And the key to that third quarter, PD, again, rebounding and protecting the basketball. Richard Bland currently right now out-rebounding the Jaguars by a total of 36-27. And that's part of the reason why this deficit is 13 points. But you got 10 minutes to knock it down, 10 minutes to get a win over the defending champions.
Jaguars out-rebounding the third quarter, 13-10. Patterson's shot is off the mark, and here comes Kennedy Matthews pushing it ahead in the front court to Martin, and Martin steps and off balance on the step and push up the shot is White. Bringing it up for the Jaguars, right side to Randolph. Randolph gets the green light, and no one down low to rebound the ball.
Yeah, Lipscomb just let it roll out of bounds. Didn't want to take a chance of not being able to grab it cleanly. Full court press again by the Jaguars.
It's a steal. Jaguars forced the 18th turnover. Randolph was fouled from behind, swallowing the whistle. Kennedy Matthews ahead as she travels, but Linscomb did not travel enough to get back to Prince George, Virginia for that bucket.
Yeah. Unfortunately, another negative possession for JCC that the Statesmen are able to get their own points from. The shooting has gone cold for the Jaguars.
These 8 minutes, the way the whistles are being swallowed, might really only take 8 minutes in real life.
Yeah, it's not been a ton of foul calls in today's game. I don't even think the Jaguars have been called for 10 fouls at all the entire contest.
We played for 1 hour and 15 minutes. We played 30 minutes of basketball. Fighting an offensive board. No one and done on that trip as the Statesman continues to climb to 71-54.
Yeah, early got 2 offensive rebounds. Zanaya Thagard, a 3 for Z and for JCC. They need that, but they're going to need more of those because this thing is a 14-point deficit with 8 minutes to go.
And the 5-second violation, and Jaguars back with the ball.
20 turnovers for Richard Bland in this game.
Jaguars only set at 12. No, correction, 13.
But I think the thing that's offset those turnovers for the Statesmen has been their hot shooting. Especially from the perimeter.
Yep.
I love the ball movement when the Jaguars take their time and they just move the ball around the perimeter.
They're working one side of the court and leaving Kayla Bell all alone as she rebounds the ball, and Smith fighting. And Smith, with frustration, has fouled, and she'll shoot 2. And early with the foul.
Smith has been struggling offensively the last several games, Petey. I mean, when the Jaguars were at their best, once at the last home win they had here, Maya Smith was a major contributor, not only on the boards, but offensively as well. As she misses the first free throw, she's sitting right now just at 4 points in this game.
Breaking news, we just had Taylor Swift get a touchdown in the Kansas City game.
I have her on my DraftKings.
71-58, 6-0. Taylor Swift versus the world.
Almost a steal by Patterson against Lipscomb, but the referee said that the ball was out of bounds, so it will stay with the Statesmen. Just 5 seconds elapsed off their 30-second shot clock.
71-58. Maya Smith only makes one of those free throws on that trip, Craig. It's something the Jaguars have struggled this season from the charity stripe.
Got to knock your free throws down in tight contests.
Linscomb had a nice look from the right baseline and overshoots the goal in frustration when she walks up the court.
So if you're Coach Z, do you drop some more of what you've been doing before where you're kind of passing the ball around, trying to find open players? Are they going to kick and drive? How are they going to handle this?
White's shot is off the side of the backboard as she was
kind of rushed that shot against the defense of Kaylee Snipes, who has entered the game, wearing number 15 for Richard Bland.
Nalia White needs to crash the boards when she puts up a shot. You know, not every shot is guaranteed like the breaths we take. 71-58, 7:12 left. We've had 3 stoppages of play in the last minute.
So the ball was tipped, apparently. I thought it was going to be Statesman ball, but now it is actually Jags ball, 20 on the shot clock. Nalia White inbounding. And then they turn it right back over again.
14th turnover.
And then a foul on Thagard to compound the issue.
.708 left, fourth quarter, 71-58. Statesman in control since opening tip. The runner was too hard for Hunter.
Fought hard to get that rebound, then you turn it over again. It's too many empty possessions, Petey, for this. And remember, the clock is still going to be moving here. Can't wait till the final 3 minutes to try to make a run.
Nice pass inside, and an and one for Lipscomb.
Well, Lipscomb has had a heck of a game today, as that foul goes against Kayla Bell. Well, Lipscomb in the first half had 11. Right now, she's got 9 in the second half, so 20 points for Natavia Lipscomb. She's been a force today. That's her 21st point. Knocking down 3 threes. She really got the party started for the Statesmen in the first quarter. Jaguars have got to find a way to get the ball in the bucket on this possession. No more empty ones right now. Active hands on the perimeter, too, by the Statesmen.
Hunter fighting him. Along with Martin, and Smith comes up with it, misses, puts up, misses again, and Patterson misses as she hit the floor, and White's trying to get a piece of it, and the Jaguars score.
I mean, how many times is there going to be contact with no call?
And all alone with early once she breaks the full court press, 76-60. 6 minutes left. It's Patterson's three is right in the hands of Early on the rebound.
It's getting to be desperation time now for the Jags as the clock is starting to wind down. The sands in the hourglass are quickly escaping as a turnover once again. 15 turnovers by JCC. The Statesmen have made them pay for a lot of these turnovers. Now this ball movement, again, pristine.
Nalia White fouled Matthews on the three.
It's going to be 3 free throws for the leading scorer for the Statesmen, Kennedy Matthews, on the season, averaging 18 points a game. Her first half, not that impressive, just 3 points, and still just sitting on 5 on the game. Today she's shooting at a unimpressive 2 of 7 from the field. So Matthews' first free throw was good.
She looked at the dance team of the Jaguars. They're making noise in the background for her to miss.
It's easy to do those kind of things when you're up by 17. But again, the Jaguars have put themselves in a bad position by having too many empty possessions.
10 points for Kennedy Matthews today. She's in double figures. Patterson draws the defender and puts up the shot, and it falls. 62 for the Jaguars. They trail by as many as 19 here in the second half, and empty trip for the Statesmen.
Still got time to come back in this game, but again, don't want to wait till it's crunch time and you got to have it time. You know, haven't done a good enough job chipping away at this lead earlier enough in the game. As Smith can't handle the offensive board off of Thagard's missed 3. I think some of the issues, Petey, is catching the basketball off of these passes, loose balls. That's something that maybe Coach Z may want to work on with her players, is actually catching and handling the basketball.
All right, media timeout, 79-62 on Jaguar Sports Network. Jaguars trail the Statesmen.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Two touchdowns and a field goal. Richard Bland, Statesman leads the Jaguars with 62 as it's 79-62 with 4:52 left, Craig. The Jaguars need to score quick.
They need to get a stop right here in this possession. Do not let this lead don't let the lead grow any further, because if they do, it could pretty much be curtains for a comeback as Matthews is fouled going up. Looks like Thagard will be charged with the foul.
This is where Matthews will take over here in the final 4 minutes and still continue with her averaging 18 points per game as she sits at 10 right now.
And they count no matter how you get them, from the free throw line, layup, or from the perimeters.
She's 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Make it 5 for 5, 81-62.
Turnover by the Jags. Thagard's three went over the top of the backboard. And you don't mind a three because she's wide open, but again, it's a lower percentage shot than trying to get to the rim.
Jaguars with 16 turnovers here in the second half. In the first half, they only had 7 as Martin extends to our biggest lead of 22.
Yeah, it's crunch time now for the Jaguars. Can you get the three back now, Patterson? No. Is it another turnover on an air ball out of bounds? You can feel the air, speaking of, just escaping out of this building.
I believe the far window over there has a crack in it. 84-62 as Hunter's shot was deflected off the bottom of the rim. And we got an offensive foul on Randolph.
Now the referees are blowing their whistles. Jaguars' 18th turnover, Randolph's 3rd foul. And to make things worse, Petey, the Statesmen will be shooting free throws from here on out.
3:34 left. Martin is fouled.
Speaking of,
Randolph. Caleb Bell checks in for Randolph. 2 quick fouls in less than 20 seconds for Randolph.
see the look on Randolph's face. She didn't have the best game today. She's finishing with 3 points. Shooting just 1 of 5 from the field.
.3-point lead.
We talked about how the Statesmen weren't the same team from last season that won the championship, as Melanie Patterson gets another bucket. She's up to 22 points now, Petey, in this game. But we talked about the Statesmen not being the exact same team they were last year. This year, 7-5 coming into today's game, winning the last contest they were in. But today they look like champions on the floor today as they built up a 21-point lead with 3 minutes to go. Josiah Thompson hit with another foul, and again, free throws for Sierra McGinley.
Continue the hot shooting from the 3. If you guys are home watching a football game, it's 7-7. That's what we like in the AFC championships. (87-64). Under 3 minutes here. The Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium in Selma, North Carolina. Doubleheader here. 4 o'clock will be tipping off with the Bryan and Stratton Bobcats. The Bobcats in Region 10 play are setting it right behind Fayetteville with a 9-5 record in Region 10.
That one came over here to our announce position. As we have Martin inbounding right in front of us, but Melanie Patterson steals the inbounds pass and will put it back home.
87-66. 2:25 left.
Just a 2-player press that time, employed by Coach Z. Statesmen break it, and Maya Smith gets the board.
Patterson to Bell, back to Patterson in the paint, and Patterson could not get that one to fall.
$20 on the shot clock for the Jaguars, but again, PD, another promising game. It was pretty close again. It was 38-34. Ever since then, long two by Kayla Bell. Ever since then, it's been all Statesmen from that point forward. Halftime, we're up by 10. Increased their lead by 3 more points from the third quarter to now, as Desire Thompson with another foul. And here in the fourth quarter, they've put the screws down on the Jaguars. And everything falling right now for them as Lipscomb gets the bounce on the first free throw attempt.
3:03 mark in the first quarter is 38-34. The Statesmen's outscored the Jaguars 51-34 since the 3:03 mark in the first half.
And it traveled this time.
(89-68), 1:39 left. Jaguars with 17 on the shot clock. Thagard trying to travel there, but the official swallowing the whistle. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Jaguar Sports Network as the Lady Jaguars will fall to 5-13 on the season. Losers of the last 7 of 8 in Region 10 play.
They do get a familiar opponent coming up here this Thursday night, though, PD. 5:30 right here back at the Richard B. Harrison, as Kayla Bell will be tagged with that foul. They will take on Central Carolina Community College right here on Thursday. Jaguars defeated Central Carolina on the road the first contest of the season, looking to go 2 for 2 against a Region 10 foe.
As Richard Blandler improved at 8-5 on the season in Region 10 play. With a win today, and they're 69 seconds away from that as Melanie Patterson makes it 70 for the Jaguars that trail by 19. We've got a timeout. The Statesmen will stay right here, 89-70, with just 58 ticks left. Craig, like we said, Jaguars are back home on Thursday against Central Carolina. Richard Bland will be back home. No, they're at Lewisburg on Wednesday. That should be an interesting game for the Statesmen as they go on the road, and then they return home February 2nd against Guilford Tech. And then they got 2 more games, the 11th and 12th back-to-back. Watauga Valley and Cleveland. The Cleveland game is rescheduled from December 2nd. And then they're back here that 3rd, and then they're home against JCC on the 15th. 19-point lead, 57 ticks left.
Smith and Matthews tied up, Thaggart and Matthews tied up.
Caleb Bell with the foul, with the push from behind on Martin. Not sure if the officials called that many fouls here through the first 3.5 quarters. They've called it tight in the last 8 minutes. As Taylor Swift gets a first down in an NFL game. 90-70. Wraps around and falls out. 20-point lead. Get a quick word from Coach Z right after this game today. As the Jaguars look to familiar opponent on Thursday, Craig will have to see what Coach Z has got to say. Dropping 7 of the last 8. What is she going to change in the next 4 days?
No matter what they have, no matter what they do, it's going to be one thing at a time. You know, this one, you got to just get this bad taste out of your mouth. This is a pretty poor second half for the Jaguars. They didn't execute the way they wanted to. Richard Bland still able to continue their hot shooting. And now they're drawing fouls and getting to the line. That's Thompson's 5th foul. Actually, correction. It's 4 on Desire Thompson. Yeah, I'll see if there's any, if Coach C can find any positives from this victory. I mean, again, from this defeat. Again, it was a 10-point game at halftime. Felt pretty good coming out of the locker room about what they could do to get back into this game, but it did not pan out for them as the Statesmen were the better team in the second half. They executed better, they protected the ball better, and that's why they're going to win this game.
So that will bring us to the final, 92-70. We'll come right back here with Craig with the interview with Coach Z.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Summing up the women's game, the Jaguars fell 92-70 against the Statesmen as the Jaguars losers of 7 of the last 8. Craig's got a word with Coach Z. Take it away, Craig.
All right, so we're here post-game. Coach Z, second half kind of got away from it. It was a 10-point game at the half. And, refs kind of swallowing the whistle a little bit until the fourth quarter. Just talk about the fight of the team. I know it wasn't a result you wanted today. Did you see any improvements from Thursday to today?
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of improvement. On our defense, we went, instead of us going our regular 2-3, we went 1-2-2. We were moving in it. And I would like like to thank my assistant, E, for bringing in guys that could help force us to move. So I can't take all the credit for this. It's my statistician right there. She helped me with it, so yeah.
Tell me about the decision to put Nalia on the bench to start the game, start Kayla. Do you think that panned out to help Nalia have a better game today?
I started Kayla because I needed defense. That's it. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, Kayla did have, Nalia did have a good shooting game, so thought that might have been part of the strategy, get some hot shooting off the bench. But nevertheless, coming up Thursday, Central Carolina one more time. Y'all beat the Cougars the first time around back 3 months ago. What you got to do to get the sweep?
I know you get tired of me saying it, but the same thing. We got to play defense.
Never tired of that.
It's both sides of the ball. We got to play both sides of the ball. We can't keep putting up numbers and then letting them score. That's not basketball. So in order for us to score, we got to stop them, score again, and until we realize that, we're going to keep having these outcomes.
Well, hopefully Thursday's a much better outcome, and thank you again for your time after the game. Appreciate you. We see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, PD, back to you. Once again, Coach. But we'll see how things turn out on Thursday night. Can the Jaguars get the sweep on the Cougars from Central Carolina Community College? We'll find out right here Thursday at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Jaguars fell 92-70 over the Statesmen from Richard Bland Community College. We got a doubleheader, 22 more minutes until we're tipping off in the men's game. We'll be right back here with final stats and a final word from the ladies' game.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity golf fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
Inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium, Petey Norris, Craig Green bringing you coverage as the Lady Jaguars fell 92-70. But Craig, take a look at some of the stats for the game. The Statesmen shot 46%, 33 for 71. Shot 36% from three. Had 42 rebounds and 23 turnovers. We take a look at the Jaguars. They shot 36%, 18 turnovers, 41 rebounds, and, you know, the biggest deficit for the Jaguars was 23 at 85-62.
The Jaguars had a hard time staying in this ball game. Again, we talked about slow starts. They had a slow start in the first half, had a slow start in the second half, and it was an uphill battle the entire way. And unfortunately for them, it resulted in another loss. And, you know, you heard Coach Z said to put Kayla in for her defense and to get, you know, not to really so much help Nalia have a better game today in terms of offense. It was more about the defense